random to show it.
What is going on, guys? It's Monday night, and it is time for another episode of Recovery Revolution Live. I'm your host, Brett, and I'm so excited for tonight's episode. It's going to be a fantastic one. We have a great guest, and we also have JR in the building, which is another fantastic surprise, man. It was kind of a last-minute thing that he was like, hey, I want to jump in tonight, and I was like, absolutely, man. I can't wait to have you on the show. So as you guys already know, we also post the audio from the live stream as a podcast. So if we have any kind of technical difficulties or another social media blackout, you can listen to the audio only version. Just search for Recovery Revolution Live in your favorite podcast player, and you can get the audio from this. Or if you're like me, where you spend a lot of time driving, you can listen while you drive and not have that pesky video there. I also have another podcast called Recovery Survey that comes out every Wednesday. This week, I'm going to be having a guest named Amy Minhan, and she talks about her struggles with an eating disorder and self-harm, and it's a fantastic episode. So if you're interested in that, please check both of those out. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on tonight's guest and JR. And I've never done the 3-person layout, so we'll see what happens. Oh, I don't want to be the big one. Let me see if I can switch that up and not be the why is it making I don't want to be the big one. I don't know how to
be the big one.
That's better, I guess. Now I'm not the big one. Anyway, here is Ahbra from Real Recovery Film Festival. So excited to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you for asking me. Thank you, JR, and thank you, Brett, for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about our upcoming film festival.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to hear more about it. I was looking at the lineup of some of the films you guys have, and I think I left a comment on your Facebook earlier talking about one of the films that I've had the pleasure of seeing. And there's just something about getting to see these different films, especially the ones that are more like documentary style, that really show the grit and grime and just kind of the good and the bad of recovery. So I love that you guys are doing this, and I want to hear more about the film festival.
Thank you. What film did you see? Because I don't think I saw that on.
Why am I blanking on it? Because I'm live. The one with Bobby Joe. What is the name?
Oh, yeah. That's a really great one. I was very happy to be able to get that film in this year. Bobby Joe Under the Influence. Yeah, yes, it's a fantastic documentary. Her life is incredible. It's a really one of those absolute redemption stories of coming from like not the worst, but like coming from such a low place of, like it says, prostitute, addict, and what is it? The tagline is prostitute, addict, saint, sinner, saint. And now she owns recovery homes and helps thousands of people, has helped thousands of people, and continues to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely an inspirational lady and has an absolutely incredible story. And I'm excited to watch some of the other films that you also have included in this film festival. But before we talk too much about the film festival, I'd love to kind of hear about your journey in recovery. What did it look like for you? Where did you come from? Kind of tell us, let the audience and us know, like what did your life look like, and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, what my life looked like. I didn't really start drinking or using alcoholically till I was in my early 40s. Prior to that, I guess you could say I didn't use drugs, but I could drink and stop. I was never a daily drinker. I might get drunk and throw up and be miserable, but I often knew when to stop. And but I always had addictive tendencies. I've had an eating disorder my whole life that I continue to struggle with on and off. And when I was in my early 40s and married, so I was married for 25 years. I got married very young. I have 3 children. And I was living in a very beautiful home with my 3 children, successful children, going to private school, traveling all over the world, and privately, secretly an alcoholic, and then eventually, using hard drugs until I was outed and went to a treatment center. I live in LA, in the Valley, in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. So I went to a treatment center out here. And then I went to sober living, and then I lived with my mom for a while, got divorced, and have been not on my own, but for the first time in my life, about 4 years ago, I rented an apartment for the first time in my life. I bought a car for the first time on my own in my life. My life changed sometimes in the opposite way. Like, I had a lot of outside stuff. I still have really nice outside stuff, but I had a lot of outside stuff and lost everything on the inside. It was just a shell. And now I've rebuilt the insides and have a little less on the outside, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it is amazing in recovery, just some of those milestones that we hit, like buying our first car or things like that I think a lot of people just take for granted as just kind of a normal run of the mill thing, but it's such a big accomplishment for those of us that are in recovery. Um, I'd love to hear more about how you got involved in the film festival, and do you have a background in the film industry, or is this kind of a new endeavor for you?
This is a totally new endeavor. I met Leonard Bushell, uh, who's the founder and director of the film festival. I met him in a meeting. He's also in recovery many, many years, 27.
Wow.
And we went to the same meeting. I have a little over 5.5 years. And I've been working with Leonard about a little over 4 years. So when I met him, I had over a year of sobriety, and was, just looking for a job that paid. I'd been doing volunteer work that I enjoyed, but I decided that it was time to grow up a little bit. And I was talking about how I was looking for a job and he needed someone to work in the office. And, I knew it was a film festival. It sounded really incredible and like a really incredible opportunity. But my initial experience was like, oh, I'm just going to be sort of handling the office stuff. I'm not going to be doing too much else. And then I was watching films and deciding on the films. We're an exhibition film festival, not an awards festival. So, I don't think that the bar is as high we choose really great films, but it's basically Leonard and I are the judges because there's no awards. It's just an exhibition. Mm-hmm. So the opportunity for people to show their films, and maybe maybe we might be the only film festival that is the right genre for their film. Mm-hmm. So I watched films, and when the time came to schedule the film festival, which was in person, we've been in person every year until 2020. And this year we decided to continue to be virtual because it just made more sense. The world is just too uncertain. Mm-hmm. COVID, it makes it too uncertain, so we decided to stay virtual. But prior to that, we were in person. So I ended up scheduling the film festival my first year, and not knowing what I was doing, but listening to Leonard, following direction, and I had no idea that's what I was going to be doing, but it came to pass, and that's what I did. And I scheduled the film festival, and it went well. And it's great meeting the filmmakers. That's one of the things I miss, is not being able to meet them, because we would always schedule the filmmakers, if we could, to speak after their film, or we'd have a professional come and speak after a film. Some of them can be triggering, or if not triggering, they bring up topics, to talk about. And we would have a professional, or Leonard or I would have the audience, and I would talk about it, or the audience and the filmmakers would talk about the film. And so that was initially scheduling the films, the filmmakers, and an event. It's an event. It's a 7-day event that we did in Los Angeles and New York. Los Angeles for 7 years, and New York, it would have been 8 years.
Wow, that's really incredible. And like you said, I'm not aware of any other space where recovery films have that stage and can be presented in that way. Like you said, it's kind of its own category.
Yeah, it is. I think recovery has gotten to be a very big issue, probably a lot due to the drug epidemic, the opioid epidemic, the visibility, but also the visibility of the problem, but also the visibility of the solution now, with so many people coming out publicly as being sober. Mm-hmm. So coming out publicly with their stories of recovery, but also their stories of addiction. So because we have more of that in the news and in the public eye, and magazines, and People magazine, or the New York Times or the New Yorker, then it's a lot more acceptable. And I'm sure some of the films, we also have a lot of films that deal with mental illness. So it's not all addiction and recovery, because so often people use drugs as a way to self-medicate. And more treatment centers they don't just deal with addiction. They don't just deal with alcoholism. They also deal with trauma, co-occurring disorders. So I don't think that you can necessarily separate that out. And also the other addictions that there are. So it could be sex addiction or gambling. We're open to all of that. We're open to all addictions. Mm-hmm. Whatever you can't stop doing, send us a film about it.
I love that. That's absolutely amazing, and just the approach of whatever the addiction is. Because in my experience, it doesn't matter what the substance is that we use to try to fill that void. You know, it's the same kind of behaviors. We have the same thought processes and stuff, and like the obsession and compulsion, and really at the end of the day, it's all the same. It doesn't really matter what it is that we're using to try to numb that pain or fill the void.
No, we have a film this year about smoking. Social films about social media or digital addiction, which is, more and more people are suffering from this attachment to things because of COVID. It hasn't necessarily helped. People are in front of their screens more and more, television, their phones, and it creates a lot of discomfort too, that we seek out other things to fill the void with. So yeah, absolutely. It doesn't really matter what the substance or behavior is. It even hits the same, centers in your brain, whether you're scrolling or, smoking a joint or drinking to different extents, but it hits those dopamine receptors.
JR, you've been kind of quiet, man.
Very quiet.
I mean, I love what you guys are doing. You're putting addiction and recovery on the front page. I mean, you guys have such a great reach. I mean, people go to the movies. People watch movies. I mean, I haven't seen the lineup of what you guys got coming out next week, on the 5th. But
on the 5th, yeah.
But I'm excited. I mean, we're gonna binge watch.
You can watch any film at any time. It's not set up like a. It's one of the downsides of this format is that I just keep looking at myself. So like I'm fixing my it. Well, all right, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Keep my hands I'm gonna sit on my hands.
Long as Brett doesn't start doing it, we'll be okay.
Okay.
Start combing his beard.
Yeah.
Right.
But I love what you guys do. I love your platform. I mean, when I first read about it, that's when I reached out to your Instagram page, and I was like, I would love to get you guys on our podcast.
Well, thank you so much for doing that.
Share your mission with the world. I mean, your purpose is that's amazing stuff right there.
Well,
I mean, I wish Leonard could have been here today. I would love to have picked his brain.
Well, yeah, he's going to be on another. He's doing another talk later on today. So. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate you having me on. I haven't been doing this as long, and I'm not the brainchild, so to speak, of the operation, but I do put my heart and soul into it. It combines two things that I love, which is film and recovery.
Yeah.
And we have close to 80 films. I'd say the majority of them are shorts. We have a lot of narrative shorts, like fiction. We have a lot of, they're almost like TV shows. And we have quite a few documentaries as well, and a couple of feature films, feature narrative films. And you can watch any of them at any time. It's not in like a real-time film festival format.
Okay.
Have to catch something at a particular time, you can log in. Once you're registered, you can log in and you can pick a film and watch it. And you can watch, you can just pick and choose. You don't have to show up at any particular time.
Brett, can you post a link in the comments just for
Yeah, I was about to ask for clarification where we can sign up to view the films.
I can do that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Talk amongst yourselves. No, I'll do that. It's on the Film Festival Flicks platform, which is this great platform that's available on, you can watch it on like Roku and Apple. You just have to register first and then follow the directions for how to do stuff like that. Or you can definitely watch it online, stream it to your television. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So that's the ticket link. It says purchase tickets, but we have a wonderful ticket sponsor this year, therecoveryshop.com. I don't know if you guys have ever ordered chips or books or anything from there. They're out of West Virginia. So they're they're our ticket sponsor. We are so grateful for our wonderful sponsors this year. Since we don't really sell tickets, we're able to do this. We're able to have this wonderful festival and share these filmmakers' works with the world through our sponsors like the Guest House in Ocala, Trauma and Beyond, a couple local places here, Trauma and Beyond Center, Westwind Recovery, Centerline Billing, and Sober.com. And also one of the films this year, this wonderful film, Our American Family, which is out of Philadelphia. In fact, it sold out the Philadelphia Film Festival and another film festival in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
This past week. So their film sold out, and it's this amazing documentary about a family. And they, two of the kids have had drug issues, and one of them not, but they brought the camera crew into these people's homes for a year, and it's like a fly on the wall. It's an amazing, kind of like an experiment, but it came out. It's great. It's really like to watch a family going through all of the stuff they go through related to addiction and just related to being a family.
Right.
Is a brilliant. And Hallie Edelman, who produced and directed the film, is wonderful. She's just been great to talk to, and she's a big supporter of the festival, and we're really grateful for her sponsorship.
Okay. And the Russell Brand one, I'm excited about that one. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, he's great. He's really moved into the recovery space over the past few years and been in these different films, and he and Gabor Mate are in this, wonderful, very fascinating film. And Dr. Gabor Mate is the author of many books, but one of them was In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, which was maybe not the first book, but it was one of the first places that I read about the correlation between childhood trauma and addiction. Mm-hmm. So, and that film is not to be missed, really.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's one of the main underlying reasons for so many people's addiction. That didn't they call it adverse childhood experience, and it leads to trauma, it leads to substance use.
Yeah,
so that would be a great movie to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it said that not all victims of trauma are not everyone who suffered trauma becomes an addict or alcoholic, but everyone who suffers from addiction has had childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm. And for the people that are asking, the link is in the comments, and I also have it down here at the bottom of the screen, but it's probably a little easier to do a little copy and paste action over there in the comments, and I'll continue to post that every few minutes as it disappears, because I know sometimes it can be hard to track things down as the comments come in. So I'll keep posting that. But I see Yusuf from Egypt was asking for the link. Welcome to the live stream from Egypt, man. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So sorry for my interruption, but just wanted to throw that out there.
No.
Brett's going global.
Woo!
Yeah, that's very cool. And we have films from around the world as well. And last year we had viewers from around the world. It was very exciting. It's something you really don't get when you're at an in-person festival. So we love that the reach is so much greater through a virtual space.
I know we just finished up our recovery challenge in September, Recovery Month. And we had submissions from all over the world. I mean, Korea, Egypt, Poland, England. It's amazing to see that. I mean, recovery's everywhere. You got to think that if addiction's all over the world, then recovery's got to be there battling right next to it. So
that's right. That's right. It is. Yeah, we have a couple films from Israel, which is great. We have a couple films from they're Assamese, which is part of India. Canada. But we have a lot of films this year from the U.S., but other ones as well. All over the. I feel like I should have it memorized, but it's sometimes you just can't.
Yeah. My memory sucks.
We have a couple films from Iran, Hungary, New Zealand, Israel, like I said, Poland, you mentioned. We have films from all over the world. And so we're excited for those people to share the ticket link, and so we can have viewers from all over the world as well.
Yeah, I would be curious to know what's the selection process like? Are all the films that are in this year's festival, are those all films that have come out in the last year, or do you have a mix of some older films, or what does the whole process look like?
Well, we take submissions through a website called Film Freeway, which I think is what all film festivals use. Maybe not if you're Sundance, but basically most film festivals use that, and we just pick and choose from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we also have people who know us from over the years, and we'll just reach out and send films. Okay, I know what you guys do. I love what you do. Can I send you my film? It's about this or that. And as long as it's within, the genre, which is, fairly broad at this point, and it's good, and honest, and not, it doesn't make fun or patronize addiction, alcohol, or mental health, and it's not prurient, then we choose it. And if something comes in and the sound isn't great or whatever, I'll talk to the filmmaker and say, look, if you can punch this up, we'll take your film. We don't want to turn people away. I don't want to turn people away, people who are coming from their heart with their film. And that's what most of our filmmakers are. They're really coming from their heart. If they're not in recovery themselves, they've lost a family member or a friend, or it's close to their heart. They're not just making a film to make a film.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is a subject that's very close to their heart, and it comes out in the filmmaking.
All right, JR. So when are we doing the Recovery Revolution documentary?
It's on the list, man.
Nice. Awesome. Well, yeah, go ahead, JR.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writers in treatment thing you got going on? Is that for just people in recovery writing, or?
Well, Writers in Treatment was also started by Leonard about 13 years ago, and at the time, the idea was to raise money to send writers, any write, whether it was the screenwriting or novels or whatever, and help them to get recovery, because there are a lot of writers. I don't know. I don't want to say there are a lot of writers who are alcoholics or whatever, but there is sort of there's a history. There's like a historical perspective of writers like Hemingway, and you know what? I'm gonna pass on that, because I'll just move past that, and I may not know what I'm talking about. So he wanted to help put writers into recovery, into treatment centers, and started the film festival as a way to fund that, as a fundraiser for it. But eventually the writers in treatment in the film festival were no longer a nonprofit. We might help refer people into treatment, but we don't, and pay for them occasionally, but we're not using the writers in treatment or the film festival to do that necessarily anymore. But writers in treatment does produce, or is the entity that all of our other things come out of. So the writers in treatment, we do a yearly award show that gives an award to a sober celebrity who's written a memoir about their journey from addiction to sobriety or addiction to recovery. And writers in treatment, that is just the the overarching entity that the Experience Strength and Hope Awards come from, and the film festival comes from.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll throw this out there for everybody that's watching live as well. As always, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put those in the comments. We can put those up on the screen and get some answers for you. So if you have any questions, please put those in the comments. I'm just excited to start binging some recovery films.
Well, it starts midnight, November 5th. So if you like to stay up late, you can start watching midnight on November 5th.
And how long will the films be available for us to watch on the online platform?
Until November 11th, till
Okay.
midnight of November 11th, or 11:59 November 11th. So you got 7 days.
Okay.
Because that's what our in-person film festival was 7 days.
Okay, we'll pin the post on top of our page until the end.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question. It's kind of a side question, I guess, but are you guys going to continue to do the online platform going forward, despite, even hopefully once COVID is a distant memory, will you guys continue to do it online, or both, or what's the plan there?
Something to really think about. I think it'd be great to be able to do both. The online platform is available all year, so we have the capability to show films throughout the year and do like pop-up festivals online. But we'll be discussing that in as time goes by. But I think it's doable. It's definitely doable to do a hybrid festival. Is a possibility to maintain the virtual aspect.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Because I don't know that I can necessarily make it to LA every time for the film festival, but having that option of being able to watch it at home is really incredible. And it's awesome that you guys are continuing to have the festival despite, the current situation and the state of the world and everybody with the uncertainty and whatnot. I mean, I don't want to harp on COVID too much, because I feel like any news channel you turn to or anything you listen to, it's all about COVID. So I don't really want to talk about it any more than we have to, because it's just like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
We know what's going on,
Right. Yes, for sure. No, last year when we were getting ready, we already had films. So 2020, by March even, we already had films. We already had put, we were getting ready to rent theaters. And quickly we saw that there were platforms to do the festival online. And I know Leonard felt the same way, but just didn't want to, at the very least, let down the filmmakers, and the viewers as well. But the filmmakers who've worked so hard on their films and want to get them shown.
Mm. Yeah, I can't even imagine the amount of work that it takes to produce a short film or a feature-length film. I mean, I feel like just doing a podcast alone is like insanely time intensive. So I can't even begin to imagine what, all the different aspects of that.
I know. I took a 41-second cell phone video the other day and edited it down to 33 seconds and put titles on it. Took me over an hour. Like I said, took me probably an hour and a half to do that. So no, I cannot imagine what it's like to make a film, edit it, put titles on, music, sound, all of that. I can't imagine. Mm-hmm. But I admire all those men and women who do it, people who do it.
Hey Brett.
Yeah.
I mean, I've asked. I was talking to Ahbra about it, but I kind of want to stream some of the movies to the page. Is there any way we can arrange that? I mean, because she has some short documentaries, I believe, and
short films. Yes.
Yeah, if she can send me the actual files, there's an option through the StreamYard platform where we can. I think they call it. I can't remember the exact phrasing of it, but you can set a premiere and stream a pre-recorded video.
Okay. Would that be something we could do?
Yeah,
I would love to get the work out to the masses.
I will talk to Leonard, and I'd have to get the okay from the filmmaker. So okay. That's the important part, is just run it by Leonard, see what he thinks, and then I have to get the okay from the filmmaker.
Okay.
And frequently they're very, a lot of the filmmakers of shorts and stuff, they're very happy to get their film seen by as many people as possible.
Right.
Especially if it's like a one-time showing,
Yeah, and that's definitely something we could do, where we could do the live viewing and then we could not have it stay on the Facebook page, but it would be similar to this, where we could have the comments open so we could chat along as we're watching the film, which I think would be a pretty cool feature to have.
Yeah, or you could keep it on your Facebook page for a day or something,
right,
a week or whatever. Just like it's up to the filmmaker. Yeah.
Okay.
I like where your head's at, JR. Good thinking, man.
I'm always thinking, man. Always thinking.
JR is the brains behind the operation.
Does someone have a bird?
No, that's a doggy tree. Doggy.
Oh, a squeaky for the dog.
Squeaky. That's Maxwell Smith. I'm sure he's got some fans in the audience.
He's very cute. I saw his cute little face. Yeah.
Tell Maxwell Smith.
Man, I'm surprised nobody's asking any questions. Nicole just said JR. That's not really a question though.
That's Nicole from Favor, Myrtle Beach. She's part of the Mobilized Recovery. She's on the South Carolina team, but they all got together when I wasn't around. I'm still holding that against her and Mike Todd and Gregory and Aaron. So what's on the agenda for 2022? Or you guys aren't even looking that far ahead?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I know. You're just glad to get this one over, huh?
Well, I mean, not to get it over, but yeah, we're trying to stay present. We do have another event planned. I mentioned the Experience, Strength, and Hope Awards. We are doing it December 15th. It's in LA. It's in person at the Skirball Cultural Center. We normally have about 300 people. Because of COVID, we're going to make it a little bit smaller, probably between, and we're selling tickets for it. Like I said, we give an award to a sober celebrity who has written a memoir about their journey, including their journey from addiction to sobriety or recovery. And last year we had to cancel or postpone. And so this year we have 2 recipients. One of them is Lee Steinberg, who is
Lee Steinberg, super agent.
Super Agent Lee Steinberg.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the other one is Courtney Friel, who was a Fox newscaster and now is on KTLA in Los Angeles. But she's a newscaster reporter, and they've both written books. Courtney's came out, I think, last year. From breaking news to kicking booze. Yeah, from
Breaking news to kicking. I love that title.
Yeah, I think it was like Live at 10 from breaking news to kicking booze. And then Lee's, I don't remember the name of Lee's book, but he's actually written a couple of them. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a dinner, a sit-down dinner. We have I can give you a link to the Writers in Treatment page, which has information about some of our other events.
Okay.
And we can post that. And if anybody's in the LA area and is interested in getting tickets, they will be available. Or they are available on brown paper tickets.
I remember Lee. He was nailing he was landing every major sports figure wanted him as their agent.
Oh,
for the longest time. He dominated the market. I'm like, this guy's I can't believe he had a story behind it. I never would have expected that.
I know, crazy story. Yeah, really, and sweetest guy, really great. Before I could put a link in, can you open a box or whatever? Because I don't see where I can put.
I didn't change any settings, so I'm not sure why.
No, I got it.
Okay, perfect. I was about to check the settings.
I had to put it in the private chat. So that's we keep busy. We got our little recovery media, or our recovery media. Can't think of a word for it, but we that we do. So
what were some of the biggest movies that came through the Real Recovery Film Festival?
Well, we will show feature films, but those are films that we show. In Leonard's first year, actually, he showed Permanent Midnight, the film written by Jerry Stahl with Ben Stiller, and they did a Q&A after the film.
Oh, did they?
Yes. But, we have we showed Rocket Man a couple years ago. Oh, one of the biggest ones was the Eric Clapton film, Life in 12 Bars.
Life in 12 Bars.
10 Bars. Yes. And we had that. It was sponsored by, he has the, I'm going to try. He has a recovery center on an island in Antigua. Oh my gosh, thank God for Google. Anyway, we showed their film, Crossroads Antigua. Yes.
Crossroads Antigua.
He has a 12-step treatment center in Antigua called Crossroads Antigua. It's all it's like it's nonprofit. It's a nonprofit. So people go there and they don't have to pay, or they pay very little. So he does it to give back to the community.
Oh, wow.
And the film was amazing. His story is incredible. We were very, it was very cool to have that film and to have the representatives of Crossroads Antigua come with it. That was a few years ago in New York.
All right, I have a question for you. I saw on the website that you guys used to have the film festival in Denton, Texas. Are there any plans to bring it back? Because that's not too far from me.
We've well, Brett, we can take the film festival wherever. We just need a partner. So if you wanna get some people together and go halvesies, you just got to get sponsors and a location, and we can bring the festival to you. Once we can travel with it. And that's how we wound up around the country, is partnering with different either treatment centers or other people. So I've been in LA and New York, but Leonard has been everywhere, including doing a pop-up festival in London, and he also was in Vancouver, Canada. So the festival has been around.
Okay. So any RCO could just partner up with you and
absolutely. Yeah. Partner up with us, either that or pay us to do the festival. We have ways there's always ways to make things work.
Okay, because our 501c3 was just approved, so.
Oh, fantastic!
I'm hoping to get some federal funding.
That's good luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was thinking either Denton or Charleston, but I'm probably leaning to. I'll fly you over, Brett.
Denton, but Charleston's yeah, no, so we had been in talks with people to go back to Texas, but LA and New York is 7 days in LA, 7 days in New York. That takes a lot of time and effort, and also Denver. Leonard's done a couple days in Denver for the past few years. We partner with Beyond Betty there. But these past 2 years, it feels like everything it feels like all of that is like was almost a different lifetime. And it's just been great. It's been great over the past couple months to be able to go back to in-person events. We were just at a conference in La Quinta, California, where we were, finally got to like rub shoulders with people and see people in the treatment industry, not the film industry. That would be fun too. But we work with a lot of people in the treatment industry, and it was great to be around people again.
Okay, so you've been with them for, what'd you say, 5-7 years?
No, 4 years. I'm 5.5 years sober.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit more than that, and I've been with Leonard for almost 4.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
He seems like a great guy.
Oh yes, he is. He is a great guy. He is very devoted, very passionate about recovery. Very passionate about what's going on in the country right now. We also have an online news bulletin called the Addiction Recovery eBulletin, Addiction Recovery eBulletin, that goes out every Tuesday and Friday. That's why I say we're like a media, like a recovery media company, because we have the events that we do, and the online newsletter that goes out every week, twice a week, that I've just put a link in for as well, and the film festival, and all recovery related. So that's a lot of what Leonard's focuses on the eBulletin. We spend some time. He spends a lot of his time getting, looking for news stories for the eBulletin. It's a great sort of like one-stop shopping for industry, not just industry news, but celebrity sobriety, drug policy, and uplifting recovery stories all in one place.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
I think I'm on the page, but I haven't really investigated it yet.
Yeah, it'll come out tomorrow. And it's a new issue every Tuesday. We put all new stories on every Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to have a recovery podcast festival?
I'm not sure how that would work. If, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work. You guys make a film, make a short film, and we can work with that. You know, even if it's just your stories. You know, even if it's just sharing the stories. You already got the little. You've already got the Zoom, not Zoom, but you already got the format where you can see people. So, you know, just anybody with a cell phone and a little bit an iMovie, I think on their Apple, or I'm sure there are other ways to edit a little bit, can make a film. Maybe not a great film, but you can make a film.
That's our next thing on our list, Brett.
I'm gonna have to do some more research, man. I can put together a pretty mean slideshow, but I don't know about a film.
Yeah, I think it's a little, but you'd be surprised what you can do just by looking at YouTube videos and sitting in front of the computer for hours until you get it, you know?
I believe it. That's how the podcast started. That's how the live stream started. JR asked me to do this, and I was like, I don't even know how to do it. And here we are. And here we are, what, like 2 months later?
2 months later, rocking and rolling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, believe me, I didn't know how we were going to get the film festival virtual. And then last year they did most of the stuff for us. They did like everything. I didn't have to do anything. This year I had to learn WordPress to put photos and put the text up and move things around. I'm trying to learn a little bit about SEO so there's like constantly changing learning curves going on, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the things I've learned that I don't think I would have learned if not for COVID.
Mm. That's true. That's true.
Definitely. I'm looking. Still no questions in the comments. That's kind of surprising.
Well, I'm going to really try hard not to take it personally. You guys with asking questions.
I know. So how would say a sober author approach someone to look at his book for a possible movie or screenplay? Or
that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So you want to option your book?
For me, no, not me, but I'm sure we do a lot of sober authors, and I know that's the question that's on someone like Jeff Vickers is thinking, hey, I want to make my book a movie.
Oh, I don't know, but like I think you can find out just about anything through online, and then hire people. You ask around. Leonard wrote a book, and his book is going to be published soon. His book is called High, Confessions of an Ex-Cannabis Addict. And he's been researching and everything to get it published as well. So it's just a lot of legwork, even if it's with your fingers on the computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Yeah. If Jeff is interested in that, which I'm surprised that he's also not in the comments right now, which is very surprising. I feel like he's on every episode. I do know at least one recovery documentary filmmaker. If he's interested, I might be able to hook him up with that. Just throwing that out there.
Sober slogans.
That's right. I'm trying to find the name of that film. I think it was from 2020 was when it came out. What is the name of it?
Star is Born?
No, it was an actual documentary.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's why I'm looking down. I'm scrolling on my phone trying to find. Oh, where is it at? Man, too far. Let's go the other direction. You can't ever find anything when you're looking for it, man. That's why I like to do the podcast, because it's not live. There we go. Never Be Done, the Richard Glenn Lett story.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, that I think that was 20. Yeah, that was 2020. He's a comedian from Canada, and it follows his journey. They actually started the film. I think they were filming it based on his comedy career, and then his life kind of spirals out of control, and then they end up following him through him losing his house and
Wow.
going to rehab, and it's a really interesting documentary.
Okay.
It sounds fascinating, but I don't know how. I'm surprised that I never heard of it.
Sorry, that was kind of a side tangent there.
No, that's okay.
So who are some of the celebrities that you have actually met doing this?
I met Russell Brand.
Awesome. I bet is he as funny in person as he is on screen?
He's very warm and funny. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's funny. I only met him once, I've actually seen him a couple times. Who else have I met? At the Experience, Strength, and Hope Awards, I've met other people there, more so than the film festival. But like Joanna Cassidy, and she's not sober. She's just a friend of she's not an alcoholic.
Okay.
Never mind. She's not. She's just a friend. Like she's. It's not like I'm. But not everybody is. I'm not trying to bust anyone's anonymity. She's just a friend of Leonard's.
Okay.
Also, Ed Begley Jr. Alonzo Bowden is a fantastic comedian. He's Mackenzie Phillips. I've met. Who else? Yeah, a few other. Now I kind of now want to be careful what I say. Whether somebody's like,
that's fine.
I'm trying to like balance in my head. Is that person out? Is that not? So, even if they've been photographed at something, I like, especially, I'm break my anonymity, but I'm in a 12-step program and trying to walk a thin line right here. But I've met a few celebrities, not tons, but definitely some, and it's they're just like us.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been to the gates of hell.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true. So it's not longer than an hour, right?
It's up to you. I mean, we've gone 2 hours if needed.
I'm like at 31% battery, and my sponsee is going to call me in a couple minutes. Yeah, I have like 3 sponsee calls coming in the next hour. So
Okay.
sure you guys kind of know what that's like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
well, no, this was great. And I don't know if maybe Leonard would come on for his book, or
definitely.
or for the our award show, and to talk about writers in treatment. He has a font of not just wisdom but information about how and why he started the film festival and writers in treatment in the first place. And the origin story is something you definitely should have on your podcast, because it's fascinating.
Definitely. I read a little bit about him on the Huffington Post article, and that
right.
I was like, that would catch your eye.
For sure. Yeah. So you'll have to get him on here too, and he can fill in the rest.
Yeah, I've been blowing up his text box today.
Okay, great. Good. Terrific.
Brett, you got anything else?
I think she answered all my questions. I'm still a little hurt that she's not really taken off with this idea of the recovery podcast festival, but that's okay,
And the Denton, Texas thing.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll find a sponsor down here in Texas that wants to host a film festival. We have some pretty good barbecue.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be for a week. It can be for a couple days.
And I think Brett said last week he's got a couch available, so
I do. Yeah.
he can host people over his
Big
house.
screen TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can watch in the living room and you can crash on the couch. It'll be
Binge
great.
watch.
I did at the beginning of COVID. I bought an old popcorn machine from a movie theater. So I have movie theater popcorn available. So it's kind of like a movie theater.
That's
Just gonna
fantastic.
throw that out there.
I will absolutely keep that in mind.
Well, I really enjoyed it, Ahbra.
Me too. I really enjoyed talking.
It's nice to meet you face to face.
Yeah, definitely. This weird face to face that we have, but this is so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our like screen or 2-dimensional face to face. Yeah, but it's really great to meet you in person, and look forward to seeing this and to seeing your other podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah, and yours too. I'm gonna look into catching those.
Oh,
yeah, and you guys definitely, if you haven't registered already, register for the film festival, and please share it.
Oh, I will.
Definitely. I know you have been. RJ. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and throw that link in the comments again if anybody's joining us kind of late or doesn't feel like scrolling. So that's in the comments again if you're interested in that. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to binge a bunch of recovery content. I'm gonna have to put like a reminder. Well, it's gonna be all over the Facebook page, but I'm still gonna put a reminder on my phone. Maybe take a day off of work.
Okay, that sounds great. That's very cool. Thank you. Appreciate the devotion.
Absolutely. I'm anything recovery. It's like I don't know. I'm all about recovery. That's basically my life now.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Great. That's great. That's great. And I like your shirt too. I can see it says "Stay humble." That's a good reminder.
Looks like a brand new shirt there, buddy.
It's not. If you could see the back of it, it's all worn, and for whatever reason, the front print is still nice, but the back is not so nice.
Just making sure you didn't expense it to your account.
Still haven't gotten that information yet.
It's in the mail.
Awesome. Yeah, it's from a recovery apparel company. I'll give a shout out to Jackson at the Stay Humble clothing line. They do I think a portion of their proceeds go to recovery centers or rehabs. I can't remember the specifics, so don't quote me on that, but I think part of their profits go to some kind of addiction recovery treatment center of some sort.
Okay, post the link, man.
Cool, thank you.
Give a shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys, this was awesome. And I thank you so much for inviting me on. I really appreciate it. And when you're going to post it on your Facebook page, so then I can share it.
It'll be on the Facebook page when the live ends within a few minutes.
Great. Then I'm going to share it too, and we'll be sharing it on the film festival. And I really appreciate it, this opportunity to talk about the film festival with you guys.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. You guys.
Brett, you want to take us out with your new tagline?
I haven't come up with a tagline yet, and I feel like I say that at the end of every episode. I'm like, I need to come up with a tagline, and then the live ends, and then that thought is just gone. You were talking about being forgetful. The show ends, and then I don't even think about a tagline. But at some point, I will come up. Okay. Maybe you should. You're the author. You're the writer. Maybe you should write me a tagline.
Yeah, I could do that.
Something clever. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into Recovery Revolution Live. We're here every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. Different guests, different recovery topics and whatnot. So please tune in next week for another episode of Recovery Revolution Live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got anything you wanna shout out?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You the man? The man, the myth, the legend?
I don't know about all that, man.
I mean, I didn't even seen how many people were online.
I don't know. We had 142 reactions. Looks like we currently have 3 viewers. Oh, they're dropping off, man.
Yeah, they probably dropping off now. I mean, a lot of people will get the event invites later.
Yeah, for sure. I've noticed that the trend of people watching it after the live has ended.
Yeah, that's the first. This is actually the first time I actually did that part. So maybe I'll do it for the ones coming up, and
Nice.
I'll hit up most of my my hardcore. We're not still on, are we?
Let me go ahead and end this. Let me go ahead and end the broadcast real quick, and then we can have a little after show talk. And end.